So it's unconstitutional. You agree that we should follow the Constitution?
Yes.
So it's unconstitutional to implement gun control since the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, right?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Do you ladies think that it's unconstitutional for President Trump to declare a national emergency in order to build his wall?
Definitely.
Do you think it's unconstitutional for President Trump to declare a national emergency in order to build his wall?
I think it is.
Do you think it's unconstitutional?
Yes, because I feel like it's people out here who are like in Flint, Michigan, they still have the dirty water crisis.
Do you think it's unconstitutional for President Trump to declare a national emergency to build the wall?
Yes.
Do you think it's unconstitutional?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
Do you think it's unconstitutional?
Yes.
Do you think it's unconstitutional for President Trump to declare a national emergency so he can build his wall?
Yes. Oh, 100%. It's ridiculous.
Do you think it's unconstitutional for President Trump to declare a national emergency? You're good with the border wall? Support President Trump? Trump 2020? So you do think it's unconstitutional?
I think it is slightly unconstitutional.
Yeah, it is.
I do think it's immoral. I feel like there's a lot of better things we could be doing with that money.
All the other branches want the money to go towards evenly for everything, and I feel like him having to shut down just for, the construction of the wall and dividing all that money just isn't really fair for the rest of the branches.
I do not agree with Trump building wall because I believe that everyone should be equal, and because we are all in one species, the human species.
I don't think we have a crisis going on at the border.
Do you think human and sex trafficking is a crisis?
Well, we actually have sex trafficking in America already. I don't know.
So we don't need more of it?
No, I mean, the gotcha question,
Do you guys think it's unconstitutional for the president to declare a national emergency to build the wall?
I'm on the phone with my mom.
I'm not talking to you. That's very progressive.
Your ideas suck, but congrats on your engagement.
Do you? So you guys would agree that it's important to follow the parameters that the Constitution sets in place?
Yeah, and I also feel like he shouldn't be able to just throw a hissy fit and get whatever he wants.
So it's unconstitutional. You agree that we should follow the Constitution?
Yes.
Do you guys agree that we should follow the parameters that the Constitution puts in place?
Yeah.
So you would agree that it's important to follow the rules in the Constitution?
Yes, it is.
So if you think it's unconstitutional, you would agree that it's important to kind of follow the parameters that the Constitution sets in place?
Yes.
So you would agree that it is important to follow the parameters that the Constitution puts in place?
Yes.
So you agree that we should abide by what the Constitution says?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think it's important for presidents to abide by the Constitution and the rules in it?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, definitely. They're there for a reason, and they've worked thus far this long, so why would we not follow them? There are rules for a reason.
Jesus, please don't go away. No one likes you here.
So it's unconstitutional to implement gun control since the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, right?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that.
But it's unconstitutional. It's not in the Constitution. We should follow the Constitution, you said.
But I don't necessarily think I would feel safe if I knew that people could possess guns on campus.
We have 3 right now.
But that's just my.
We have 3 right now. Do you feel safe?
No, that's why I'm about to stop talking to you. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, yeah, you too. Feel safe on a gun-free zone. Do you think that any gun control is unconstitutional since we should follow the parameters of the Constitution and the Second Amendment explicitly says shall not be infringed?
I don't know. I believe that having more gun laws is safer for us, but I don't believe it's unconstitutional.
Do you think gun control is unconstitutional?
See, I think you're mixing things up too much. I mean, yes to one question, but just because yes to that and it works in that case, you can use it as an argument against something else because it's comfortable and it works that way for you.
Explain your pants. Elaborate on that.
See, these are newspaper print pants, civil rights.
Civil rights, like gun rights.
No, that's not a civil right.
What? If we want to follow the parameters set up by the Constitution, don't you think that any gun law is an infringement?
It depends on how strict the gun law is. I definitely think that we need to have some kind of like better, like a stricter process, but I don't think it should be restricted entirely.
Well, there is a right to bear arms, but I do believe that that amendment, or was created in a time that did not have the technology that we have today. Therefore, it should be revised.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think that gun control is important.
But the Second Amendment in the Constitution says our right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Would that be unconstitutional then?
I think that over time things change and the meaning behind things change. That's why the Constitution is a living document. So I would say that the right to bear arms is less about the right to physically hold a gun and more important about the right to be able to protect yourself and your personal rights.
Don't you do that by holding a gun?
No.
What about free speech? Do we have any limitations on that?
Yeah, we should.
Like what?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be unconstitutional to have limitations?
No.
There is an issue with how free speech is because it does allow for discrimination and people do abuse it.
What limitations should we have on free speech? Do you believe in hate speech?
No. I don't know what that is.
What's your name and major? You don't even know what your name is?
Sorry.
You got a lot to figure out.
Yes, there should be restrictions a little bit.
Depends on the gun control law.
It says shall not be infringed.
Right, but we have other constitutional rights like the right to privacy that have laws that have limitations on them.
So it's unconstitutional.
It depends on your view of the Constitution.
Yeah, we should definitely be allowed to have guns. Obviously, in the case of school shooting, that's not okay, but to protect ourselves, 100%.
What about free speech? Do you think hate speech should be restricted?
I don't know, because we really should be able to say what we want. I think a lot of times people are just oversensitive nowadays.
I'm surprised. Okay, thank you. That opinion is not popular on college campuses. Remember, we are listener supported. We don't get billions of dollars from the government or Silicon Valley or George Soros. We are supported by you. So please go to InfoWarsStore.com and check out the highest quality nutraceuticals and supplements at InfoWarsStore.com.
When you think nootropic, something that gives you focus, something that gives you mental stamina and clarity, think Brain Force, our best-selling nootropic at InfoWarsLife.com. But now, after 2 years of development, when you think long-lasting, clean-burning, healthy energy, think Turbo Force. That's what's been developed. Energy drinks and energy supplements and energy boost are the #1 fastest growing market, not just here in the United States, but in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is total body energy. This is Turbo Force. You could call it a pre-workout. You could call it the most complete replacement for toxic energy drinks. You could call it something completely new, a revolution, because from our deep research, that's what it is. Everyone knows our political information is the holy grail when it comes to defeating the globalist and overturning their tyranny. Our products, our supplements, and what we bring in InfoWars Life are exactly in line with that philosophy, complete and total game changers. I'm not some fly-by-night guy like these big corporations that'll spend $10 million on the rollout of a product but not spend any money on what they actually put in it. I just sit here in the studio talking straight to you with no overhead to make sure we put more product in Turbo Force than any other energy drink out there, and we've checked into all of them. And we don't just put more, we put highest quality, ladies and gentlemen. And then the vitamins, the minerals, the key amino acids and other natural compounds that help boost the energy and get it directly through your bloodstream, to your brain, to your organs, to your muscles. Get your Turbo Force today and find out why it's called Turbo Force at InfoWarsLife.com.